Alrighty then, let's talk. So it's rumors that Canelo and Crawford could do a rematch. I don't know how real those rumors actually are. I mean, he hasn't verbally expressed he wanted a rematch. He just, went out and said that he needed surgery. And most people took that as, excuse me, took that as an excuse to why he lost to Terence Crawford. So a lot of people took that as an excuse on why he lost. He was using that as his excuse on why he lost the fight. I mean, rematch. He didn't rematch Beeble. And maybe he feel like he could do better versus Crawford in a rematch. Maybe still feel, well, Crawford ain't as skilled or as big as Beeble. It's really, when you want a rematch, there's really no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's like, okay, I want a rematch. Maybe contemplate, making some changes. Should have been doing all that before. Whatever the things that you felt like, you struggled with the style before. But a rematch will be, Crawford's most lucrative option. Sound like it may be some movement at 60 with some fights happening that could get Crawford a consolidation of the belts or even a ring belt at 160. So he could be headed to 160 to be a 5-division champion. You have 35, 40, 47, 54, 68. No, what did I say? 35, 40, 47, 54, 68. So he'd be 6th division title holder. He was lineal at 35. He was lineal at 40. He was lineal at 47. He was lineal at 68. So if he can go down to 60 and get lineal, he was lineal in 5 out of the 6 divisions. And the only reason he wasn't lineal 6 out of 6 is because of, politics. So, obviously, if you're still chasing something and you don't want to leave nothing on the table because, once your career is over with, it's over with. So I understand it. But if, you can let the guys at middleweight, they can duke it out and figure it out. And they can duke it out and figure it out. And you can do a rematch with Canelo, hopefully win, then come back to 160 pounds and, finish your career up and get undisputed again. So, 60 may not have the most, big names, the most lucrative names in the game. But one thing you do get out of 160 pounds, there are some really good fighters at 160 pounds. They may not be as, big as a Canelo name or as a Fondura, literally and figuratively, but they're really good, tough, rugged, accomplished fighters. I think Arizona Lara is the greatest premier boxing champion fighter there ever was. That's my opinion. So, like I said before, if they do a rematch, it's pretty much, it's Canelo's pride on the line. And sometimes when you do a rematch, you come in and the rematch and you put an explanation point on the fight. Something like Sugar Ray Leonard did to Roberto Duran. It's kind of like to a point where Holyfield did to Tyson. Even though it ended in an ear bite, he put an explanation point on what he did in the first fight by frustrating Mike. Sugar Ray Leonard made Roberto Duran quit. So people like, the first fight must have been a fluke. So that's what Canelo will be looking to accomplish. That's what he'll be looking to accomplish. So, but, for Crawford, that's the most lucrative deal. And really the ball's in his court because it ain't like Canelo can make him do something that he don't want to do. That's the crazy thing about it. It ain't like Canelo can make him do something that he don't want to do. That's a fact. Because he could just retire. Bro, he got some bargaining chips at the negotiating table. So, you know, he can bargain at the negotiation table a little bit. Like, bro, I could just go down to 60, bro. I could just retire. So I need more money. I want your money. Or whoever putting the money up, I want to get handsomely compensated for me. You know. But you know, but for the most part, it's about Canelo. If you just taking it, you know, just for your sight, just because they pumping you up, you got to take it for the rematch for the right reasons. You got to know why you lost and, you know, can you win? You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you got knocked out in the first fight where you got to prove that it was a fluke. You got to come into that rematch, you know, planning not just to win, but really planning to put an exclamation point on the win to show that the first fight, it was a fluke. And the thing about Terence Crawford, he doesn't give me an impression as a guy that's going to get caught slipping. You know, one of the things that you learn about guys that come from the hood, you know, they peep everything. They come prepared. He's a very prepared fighter. It's going to be very hard to get the drop on Terence Crawford. So it ain't going to be like for Sugar Ray Leonard where, you know, Roberto Duran beat him and, you know, he blows up in between fights. He was going up almost to 200 pounds, you know, in between fights, believe it or not. You know, so Sugar Ray Leonard made the fight happen, made him have a fast weight cut, and, you know, they ain't gonna catch Crawford slipping like that most than likely. You know, the Canelo fight will be chasing the bag for Bud. The legacy is already intact. So all he got to do fighting Canelo is something to lose. It's no more you can increase your legacy with him, but also it'll give him an opportunity to figure it out at 160 pounds, consolidate all of that, come back, beat Canelo, if you can, come back to 160, come back to 160 and just end it off there. None of them are big enough, are huge names. So you literally can drag them to Omaha or where Nebraska play at if you want. And you know, if Canelo really want the rematch that bad, guess what you can do? You can drag him to Nebraska. You can drag him wherever the fuck you want to drag him to. You got the juice, Bishop. No, you got the juice. So, you know, it's about what he want to do. But, you know, to have a chance to have a lineal title of 5 divisions, I mean, that's very attractive. But also, while picking up the bag with Canelo, you can spin the block and you can make that happen. So, can't get mad at it. He can have his cake and eat it too, most than likely. He the stimulus package at 160. If he was going down to 54, he's still the stimulus package. So, you know, the price that went up for his whole team, his strength and conditioning coach, you know, I think like Mackie Shieldstone, what he did to with Bernard Hopkins moving up to fight Antonio Tarver, I just think his conditioning coach shot to the top of the conditioning coach. He shot to the top. He shot to the top of the mountain. Over Larry Ray, Alex Ariza, Memo Hernandia. You know, in conjunction with, you know, Victor Conti. They dotted their I's and crossed their T's when they did this. One thing I heard the strength and conditioning coach say is that, you know, they laid out a plan what he needs to do. Not one time that Crawford complained. They just followed the plan. People don't understand how everything had to be perfect just from a physical standpoint for what he did. Like the genetics had to allow him to do that. And then the plan had to be in place. They probably tested his blood. you know what I'm saying, how much electrolytes, how much protein, how much sodium. They probably tested everything. And, you know, even though you know what you need, you still need the discipline to follow the plan. As a fighter, can't get up eating Cheetos, which he could in this. If he wanted to eat Cheetos and burritos and Rice Krispie treats in the middle of the night, he could and still make weight. But the body wasn't going to be as functional. Like when you, like I seen a guy, he did an experiment showing people that you can eat Twinkies and lose weight as long, you know, weight cut is a calorie count. But the difference is that your body ain't going to be as efficient as you cutting weight and you eating, you know, clean. So he had a clean cut, you know, can't get mad at it. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link tree. You can find me on X, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. Peace.